Israel Army chief says war possible on many fronts. The head of Israel's armed forces has painted a grim picture of a future war in which the country could come under simultaneous attack in many ways. The war could open with a surgical missile strike on the General Staff building in the heart of the Kuria, which is the Defense Ministry complex in Tel Aviv, Lieutenant General Benny Grantz told a conference in remarks broadcast by public radio on Wednesday. It is possible that there will be a cyber attack on a site supplying the daily needs of Israeli citizens, that traffic lights would stop working or the banks would be paralyzed, he added. Grant said that Lebanon Shiite Muslim Hezbollah movement could pose a major threat. The accuracy of the missiles will increase dramatically, and if Hezbollah chooses to strike a pinpoint target almost anywhere in Israel, it could do so, the military website quoted him as saying. Hezbollah, whose southern Lebanon heartland borders Israel, fought the Jewish state in a 2006 showdown that killed some 1,200 Lebanese, mostly civilians and nearly 160 Israelis, most of them troops. Gantz postulated that, along with a missile hit on the military headquarters, patrols on the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights could come under attack from Islamic militant groups. The chief of staff will be told that there are different kidnapped soldiers, one of whom is a battalion commander, he said. Responsibility for the incident will likely be taken by a terrorist organization, either from Global Jihad or another organization without a specific affiliation. The pastoral landscape of the Golan Heights could turn with a sudden bang into a battleground of blood, fire, and pillars of smoke, Gantz added. Israel seized the strategic northern plateau from Syria during the 1967 Six-Day War and later annexed it in a move the international community does not recognize. The military website quoted Gantz as saying that while the scenario he cited were all hypothetical, they were well within the realm of possibility. Sound imaginary? He asked the audience of academics. I don't believe so.
After I read this story, I asked myself, why is an Israeli army chief talking so openly about these hypotheticals with such specificity? He talked about his enemies' pinpoint strike capabilities and cyber attacks. He went on to call out Hezbollah and Islamist militants as some of his enemies, as well as organizations without any specific affiliation. Now, this last group, in my opinion, are the most rogue and the most likely to strike. Is this chief possibly following orders from higher up in the command to get his country and possibly the world ready for the inevitable? I personally believe that this is a very strong possibility. That is one of the key points that I wanted to make, that there is so much hatred for Israel right now that sooner than later, that hate is going to reach a boiling point, and then there will be a huge explosion. The other thing is that interests me and compel me to do a video on this article is the fact that the army chief actually partially quoted two very important scriptures from the Bible. Did you catch that? It is highly likely that he knew exactly what he was doing. The chief said that the pastoral landscape of the Golan Heights could turn with a sudden bang into a battleground of blood, fire, and pillars of smoke. Read Joel chapter 2, verse 30. But if you have time, read chapter 2 in its entirety and be encouraged. Also read Acts chapter 2, verse 19. God willing, I will have much more to say in videos soon to be released about this reference to blood, fire, and pillars of smoke. Thank you all for watching. God bless, peace, and love.